sous vide is a technique to produce unusual and unique results, but also enhances everything else that we do in a kitchen.
I think sous vide has been a very, very important part of our profession for at least the past 10, 15, maybe even 20 years.
Low temperature cooking, or cooking with very exact temperatures, I think is the biggest revolution that's taken place in cooking in several lifetimes. And it has totally changed what I thought was possible to do in the kitchen.
With sous vide, you kind of eliminate all the guessing, and you can go straight to precision and end up with, you can focus really on the taste, on where you want to go, without having to worry about how you get there.
What sous vide has meant for me as a chef is that it's another tool, or another technique, I should say, that has become part of my repertoire of cooking techniques.
One of the reasons why I choose sous vide is because there's a lot of different techniques that you can use for the infusion of spices. When you're using actually the sous vide, you're going to obtain a very consistent infusion or flavor profile every single time. And that's the beautiful thing about the sous vide.
It's a different type of cooking, you know. It's a different technique. It's a whole different world in sous vide. It's you can do so much things with sous vide. It's I guess limitless of what you can do.
I think that sous vide has opened up a lot of creative opportunities for chefs and cooks. You know, I remember when I was first introduced to sous vide 12 years ago at the French Laundry, you know, we tried a lot of different applications, not just, you know, low temperature cooking for a prolonged period of time. So it wasn't, you know, it wasn't just about cooking for me. It continues to be, you know, a tremendous learning process.
What has sous vide cooking meant to us? I don't want to say it's changed our lives, but it's added a whole new element of cooking in our kitchens that has been very influential for the young cooks that come to our kitchens, and certainly a great experience for the guests that come to our restaurants.
I don't think that sous vide is anything more than a huge asset and a partner in practically any other tool you use once you understand the advantages of sous vide. And that's why I said if it's someone who's starting out and decides they want to be a chef, I would think spend at least 6 months to a year understanding the performance of sous vide. Wherever you'll end up, you will never forget the advantages that you'll apply to anything you end up doing.
It's really important for culinary students, young chefs, and home cooks to get the proper training in sous vide, because without the training you can't have that superior product. When you really understand how to regulate the temperatures and use the different techniques, the food comes out amazing. But you also can preserve a lot of the nutrients in the food by doing things correctly. And that goes way beyond just the health safety concerns, which of course is something that you want to pay attention to as well.
My experience with sous vide is very recent. I did not do any sous vide until I got certified. It's just a question of principle and ethics. It's just for you intellectually take out all the taboo of sous vide, and there are numbers there. And it gives you the knowledge and the intelligence to cook sous vide.
Well, I think first of all, if you do sous vide, you have to do it well and perfectly well. You can't really cut corner when you do sous vide. And I'm glad to hear that CREA is gonna have an online class and different type of media technique to bring this technique out and to have more people be involved with it.
Well, CREA has given us a lot of knowledge, a lot of education. So we look to them when we have an idea, when we have a question, when we have a challenge.
So I think the new online resources provided by CREA will give, you know, chefs like myself, and, you know, just as importantly, if not more importantly, you know, young cooks, a real set of guidelines that follows, you know, most importantly, sanitary practices, but also, you know, gives us the why
The mission of CREA for really getting the training out there and doing it in so many languages and making it available for foodies, for home cooks, for restaurant chefs is amazing, because this technology is really special. But with the training, you're going to get a superior product that's well beyond what you might have learned when you initially came in contact with it. And I know 10 years ago, when I learned the basics of sous vide, a lot has changed since then, so the training is really important.